very excited. Hey everyone, how is Facebook world over there? Excited, lots of cool stuff happening. I'm going to invite a few friends and make sure we can get a few people in here. Notify them that we're going live today. It's 1 o'clock Thursdays. We go live every single week and share with you some bits and pieces, some pieces of knowledge of good things that are going on, and sometimes, like we're going to talk about today, some real stuff that isn't always positive, but I think it's something that we have to, we all have to handle, and it all has to be, something that we do our best to cope with and move forward. So invite. I'm going to invite as many people as I can and let them know. Hey, Jewel. Hey, Erica. Hey, Yardena. Jason. Socorro, because you're on a different name. And then Jewel, hey. So super pumped. I appreciate you guys being here. It's funny because I use the word pumped, but today is kind of a crazy day. I mentioned last week on live that my mom's longtime boyfriend was very sick, and he was diagnosed with cancer, and I'm really going to do my best to keep it together today. And it's funny because normally I put my topic out for go live like on Monday or Tuesday, and I start to kind of like market it and put it out for people to see. And it's interesting because I didn't get a chance to really do that this week because he passed away. John passed away on Saturday morning, and so it's been a really hard time. And I'm just kind of in that place where I'm trying to survive, and I'm trying to think about it. I'm trying to make sure my mom is okay. And there's been a lot of sometimes when death happens, things go a little haywire. People don't know how to handle it. It's very tough. It's challenging. It's scary. It hurts. You have unfinished business. You have unresolved feelings. You have all these things that can happen, and it can be like a cluster, of problems. And so it really kind of leaves everyone, dealing with a lot of emotion and dealing with a lot of raw emotion. And so, I'm totally unscripted today. I didn't prepare anything. I really wanted to be able to speak from my heart. And so please, if you've had any experiences with death or with, some of the loss that a lot of people have experienced, if you've had experience with that, like, please share with me some of your questions or some of your experiences. I would love to, make this an interactive time today, but I really wanted to kind of just, share with you some of my thoughts. And it's interesting because I wanted to do this topic. I have a topic that I'm going to do next week, which is really in honor of John. But I'll talk about it later. It's called Game On. But I wanted to do a topic, but I couldn't think of what I wanted to do. And even this morning, I woke up and I was like, okay, we're going live at 1 o'clock. What are we going to talk about? Hey, Tim, how are you? Thanks for joining us. So what am I going to talk about? And I was like, my emotion was like all over the place. I'm like sad. I'm angry. I'm, grateful in certain times. And, all this stuff is like kind of going haywire in my mind. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what the heck am I going to say to people that's going to inspire them, right? Because GGinspire is to inspire you to have a great life. It's to go out there and, find the greatness that you want and be your best you. That's what I do this for. It's for you guys, but it's also for me because it gives me an opportunity to get some of the things that, that are on my heart off my chest and into the world, and I can let it go. And then once I let it go, like, I don't have to hold on to it anymore, right? So it's really an interesting thing. So forgiveness is a big thing. You've got to forgive, right, Tim? So I wanted to cover this topic, and this topic is really like how you deal with loss, because loss is a tough thing. And I think that whatever challenge you're having in your life, you have to be able to be okay sometimes with feeling sad and allowing yourself to feel sad. And I'm one of those people that doesn't necessarily like to feel sad. I'm like, I want to be busy. I want to be productive. I want to move forward. I want to make things happen. I want to do the X, Y, Z. And I don't give myself that opportunity to feel sad sometimes, right? Because somehow, for me at least, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like if I'm allowing myself to be sad, then I could spend too much time doing that. And I get stressed out thinking I need to be doing other things. So Tim said, hey, forgiveness. Oh, wait, so Serena, real quick, we'll do hers first. What's the most valuable lesson you learned throughout this process? I would say that, one of my mentors told me, like I'm talking to you guys about, like giving yourself an opportunity to be sad, like almost sitting down and writing down like all of the things you're sad. I'm sad because this, I'm sad because that, I'm sad because somebody who's really close to me, you know, that my girls look at like a grandfather like passed away, and I'm very sad and I miss him. They miss him. Little Ariel at 3 years old is like, Johnny passed away. I miss him. You know, that's the kind of stuff that like hurts me, because I want them to be able to experience his life, right? And experience who he was as a person. And they know him a little bit, but I want them to have more time. We always want more time. And so I think, you know, being okay with, like this morning, my husband was like, when are you coming to the office? What's going on? When are you going to be here? And I was like, you know, I'm going to be there when I get there, because right now I need to actually work through this. I need to feel some of this pain. I need to feel some of this sadness so that I can work through it, so it doesn't erupt at some point when I'm, you know, I've been trying to ignore it for weeks and months, and then it just, you know, erupts and I'm not able to control it anymore. So it's important. So I think that's probably a really valuable lesson. And then Tim was asking about like forgiveness, right? So forgiveness is very important. You know, there's a lot of things that happened within those last couple of weeks that really upset me. Just the way that things were done, how things were handled, just really bothered me. Some of the people that I was dealing with. And, you know, forgiveness is what sets you free. You have to get to the point where you understand that everybody is going through their own challenges or going through their own issues, but that forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. It's to allow you to move past it. You may never forget it, right? They say forgive and forget. You may never forget it, but that forgiveness allows you to let it go, allows you to move on. So you forgive them for maybe they don't understand the way that you are, the way that you would like to be talked to, or you would like for things to be handled, but you forgive that and you let it go. It's so, so important. So thanks for the comment, Tim. I appreciate it. It does, it frees you. So you have to go through it. Genevieve, thanks for joining us. Okay, so a couple more things. I really wanted to make sure that you guys, you know, were interactive. So I appreciate you, Tim, getting on here and like, you know, doing a bunch for us. But a lot of people are watching. And so one of my challenges is, you know, taking the time to actually do it. So I wanted to like journal and put all these things together, right? But I'm always like, oh, I don't have enough time to do it. Or when's the right time that I want to think about it this way? Like I'm what we call like a thinker, right? I'm a thinker. I like to do. I'm an overachiever. I'm a workaholic. That's how I am. So let me ask you guys a question. Like, how often are you feeling comfortable enough to say, you know what, I'm just going to sit for like an hour or 2 hours or whatever, and I'm just going to feel sad. I'm really going to think about like all the things that make me sad, that make me depressed, and like all that stuff, right? When are you going to do that? Does that sound like a fun thing to do? Because for me, it sounds like total anxiety and like excruciating pain. And so scheduling in that kind of time sucks. The idea of having to do that makes me like, oh, I just don't want to. I just don't want to have to go through that emotional trip, right? Some people are okay with it. I have a hard time with it. And so this morning I was like, no, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to think about the things that make me sad, the things that really pissed me off in the last couple of weeks, things that I want to do differently, things that I hope that happen differently. If something, God forbid, something happens to me, you know, what I want for my family, what I don't want for my family. You know, some of these conversations you don't want to have, but unfortunately you have to have them, because if you don't have them and you don't make sure that your stuff is in order and taken care of and your wishes are on paper, somebody else is going to be fighting about it later. And if you don't want that, then you need to make sure that all that stuff is taken care of. So nobody has to have those conversations, so they can focus on being grateful for the life that you led, you know, for the person that you were, for the joy that you brought to other people. Like, that's what I want people to focus on with me. I want people to look back one day when I'm not able to do these videos anymore and say, gosh, think about the impact that she made on being able to go out and talk to people and speak from her heart about what she believed was important, about what inspired her to inspire others to have a better life. I want you all to have the greatest possible life that you can. It's not that easy, right? We all have so much that we're running through and we're challenged to do, but I appreciate you guys as the ones that got on to really take a look at this and share this, because think about how many people that you know are dealing with loss. And, you know, they say there's the stages. You know, you guys know, I told you I didn't take notes today, but there's the stages of loss, dealing with loss. There's denial, there's anger, there's fear, there's all these different stages, right? So how many people do you know that are dealing with some type of loss and they're not necessarily going through those stages, or they're trying to block it out, or they're spending too long in those stages, right? And they need to move forward into the next one. Like, you know, everybody's going to deal with loss differently, and we're not in a position, I'm not in a position, and you're not in a position to be able to judge how somebody else deals with loss, but you can also help them cope and they can move forward. You know, even though I'm dealing with loss, I am in my office. I was actually going to go outside. I wanted to go to the park today, but I went outside and it was so flippin' windy that I was like, forget it. So I just think that, you know, you never know what people are going through, but you have to make sure that you do your best to be supportive for where they're at. Hey, I'm here for you. If you need anything, let me know. But also, if you know that this is somebody who enjoys going to the beach or going somewhere and going there, but they're not, right? Like maybe you're the person that could extend that olive branch and be the person that helps guide them through it and helps push them. So you may be able to share this video, and this might make an impact on somebody who's dealing with they're dealing with loss themselves, right? So, you know, you can make an impact on others and you don't necessarily know how, right? And sometimes people are going through stuff and they're not asking for help and they're not reaching out, right? But sometimes if you're close to people, you need to know. And even if you're not close, you may make an impact on somebody that you have no idea they're dealing with loss, right? Hi, Jen. Okay, so Jewel, thank you for your question. I love all the comments. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. If you're not used to asking for help, how do you ask for help? You know, this was a tough one for me for years and years and years, because like I feel like almost in this country, like if we ask for help, we're deemed weak, right? So you have to ask for help. And so we can, you know, bang it into your head as much as possible, but until you take the steps, and sometimes it's just little stuff like, you know, let's see, I used to, before I was married, you know, I was raised basically like, you know, a woman should be independent. She should be able to take care of her own stuff. Like, I don't need a man, you know, I'm good. And so even, you know, when I was dating my husband, just the idea of having to like share space with him and like have to potentially ask him for help, or like, you know, I need help with the groceries, or, you know, when we got married, we were like, we don't want to do anything that's like along gender lines. So I heard in a class that I took in college about egalitarian, right? So everything is just shared. Like there's no like, you know, the men take out the trash, no women do the dishes. It's just like, it's a free for all. Like whatever needs to be done, it doesn't matter who's doing it. Whoever has open hands, basically, like take care of it, right? So I like that idea. And I thought to myself, you know, that's the kind of life that I want to live. But in order to be able to do that, you have to communicate and you have to be open to ask somebody for help in the event that you need it. So it's something that took, like the mindset took me a long time to be able to wrap my head around, because I think we're almost shown that if you're asking for help, then you're being weak. Oh my gosh, Genevieve, I'm so sorry. You did, I saw that on Facebook that your son passed away. That, I mean, I cannot even imagine how tragic that must be. You know, that's a loss that like, I can't even imagine. And I appreciate you getting on. This is just, it's a really hard thing, and it's something that we have to experience and we have to go through. And in that process, we do need to ask for help, and we do need to, you know, find ways to be able to heal and, you know, hear from people that are, you know, dealing with some of the same experiences or even slightly different experiences, because I learn things from my kids all the time. I learn things from the people all around me. Like every single day that I'm on this earth, I'm looking to learn something and I'm looking to get better. And I appreciate when there are other people that have maybe gone through a struggle that I haven't yet, that I can learn from, and maybe they're going through a struggle that I have experienced, and I have something to show them, or I have something to guide them in some way to make them feel better. And you know, I've gotten so much coaching over the years on how to be better and how to improve yourself, and you know, like I said, how to be a better you. But what it all comes down to is just being real with yourself and being okay with the fact that you're not always going to be sunshine and roses, you know. And pain is real. And if you're able to get through the pain, you become a much stronger person, right? It's not fun though. Pain isn't fun. It's not the kind of thing that you're going to look back and go, wow, that was awesome. But it's going to create part of you, and part of making you a better person, more sensitive to others, more empathetic, right? And if you're in business, you're an entrepreneur, you're a person living on this earth, like you're somebody who needs to do as much as you can to get better, not just for yourself, but for others. We live in this world and we have to make an impact on others any way that we can. So every ounce of growth that I can get, every ounce of pain that I experience, I have to experience and find a way to find the joy in it and to find something to be grateful for, right? Because it's not easy. And like, I honestly think that in this time, like we deal with so much, we have so much, you know, negative press and so much, all the postings on Instagram and social media and Facebook and this and that, and Facebook's in the news, and they're selling us stuff and blah, blah, blah. I mean, all this stuff, like we have all these negative things coming at us all the time. And we have to sift through and still figure out what's important. And so when that pain comes to you, sometimes it's the time to retreat for a little bit and experience that sadness and, kind of remind yourself of what's truly important in your life so that you can be better focused on those things, because we have to learn, we're in the information age, and we actually have to learn how to sift through all of this stuff to make ourselves better for our kids, for our families, for our business partners, for the people that we make an impact on, for GGinspire, for the followers that are out there. I want to be able to inspire others to have more for themselves. Maybe it's a better relationship with their family. Maybe it's a better relationship with their kids. Maybe it's a better work time. Maybe it's more money, right? Maybe it's more success. Maybe it's just letting go of all the crap that you had to deal with when you were a kid. Some people are hanging on to all these things that happened to them when they're kids, but that was before, right? You're hanging on to the past. We have to look forward. We have to be in the present. We have to dream about the future and move forward and get better. So I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much, Genevieve, for sharing that with us. It was I appreciate it. I really do. Jewel, thank you for your question. I don't know if there's anybody questioning on Instagram. No, I don't see it yet. Okay, but my brother's there. Lamar's there. If you're usually the strong person, how do you grieve when everyone is looking to you for support when you need support? That's a great question, Joel. Because I felt that way a lot. Like I run a business, right? So I'm a broker. I work in financial services. I teach people about money. I run a team, right? So people are looking to me to be strong, right? And they're looking to me to lead. They're looking to me to be the beacon of hope, strength, direction. My job is to lead, right? And so when you're the leader, like you're the one that has the most reason to get down. You're the one that has to deal with the most stress. Everybody comes to you with their crap. Like you deal with the money part of the business, definitely making sure that the production is great, the cash flow, all that stuff, right? You have to deal with that. So you have the most on your plate, but you're also the person that doesn't get to have a bad day, that doesn't get to, be down, right? And so it's not an easy thing. It's definitely not an easy thing, but that's leadership. It's part of leadership. But, good leaders create better lives for other people, and they create opportunity for other people, and they're very highly paid for it. So leadership is not an easy job, but it's a very rewarding and fulfilling job. What I've seen is even in the last week, I mean, it hasn't even been a week, but I've seen people come out of the woodwork that to give me support, but also I'm not the kind of leader that is afraid to let people know that I'm vulnerable, right? Like I'm not the kind of leader that's afraid to cry, right? I think like the mindset is like your boss should never cry, and like you got to be like iron and all that stuff. I don't think we live in that kind of world anymore. And honestly, like I would appreciate the fact that the people that are with me are more real, more vulnerable. Show me you're a real person. When I see a leader speak, and when I see a leader speak and I appreciate who they are, and then when they get down off of the stage and I talk to them and they're not that same way, it really bothers me and it feels disingenuous. You know what I mean? And so I would rather have somebody who tells me, yes, I'm having challenges. Yes, I'm dealing with XYZ. I'm dealing with loss. I'm dealing with pain, but I'm still fighting, right? Because I'm leading. And so how do I expect other people to have challenges, to have problems, adversity, loss, pain, all those things, and not do the same thing, right? So I have to lead, and I have to show that, what? Yes, even though I'm having pain, I had loss in my life, and we've had a really stressful experience, I still came to the office for a couple of hours and I got some stuff done, because my mindset is that I have to continually move forward. I cannot have a day that goes by that I absolutely do nothing. That's just gone for me. I don't know a day where I haven't talked or thought about moving forward in my business and helping my clients in, 10 years, almost 11. So it's hard because you have to be that picture of strength. It's okay to be real with people, but you also don't want to be like, I suck. Like, I'm a bad leader. I'm this, that, and the other. No, you're not. You're human, but you're going to continue to move forward, and you're always going to get better. So you know, you go to support for the people that you can cry on their shoulder. You're not always going to be able to, you shouldn't necessarily cry on the shoulder of all the people that are looking to you as that beacon of strength, but it's a fight. It's a dog fight. Do you know what I mean? And it's maybe the dog fight is going on in your mind, but you have to, you got to man up in some ways, and you got to show that there is a level of strength. Because like if your kids are down, like what would you tell your kids? You tell them you still got to get up, you still got to go to school, you still got to take care of business. I know it's hard, right? But you got to fight through it. And so we almost have to talk to ourselves like we're a little kid sometimes, and remind ourselves that like you still got to buck up, you still got to put on a strong face. You know, like for my 6-year-old and my 3-year-old, you know, we're honest with them. You know, it's not, I mean, Jeepa Johnny is what they call him. Jeepa Johnny was next door. It's not like one day, you know, we were joking, my husband and I were joking the other night because somebody said like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you shared with them what happened. And I was like, well, it's not like I couldn't. It's not like, it would be like ridiculous. Like they lived next door to us. They saw him every single day. He wasn't just going to be like poof, one day gone, you know? So we had to have that conversation with them, and we had to be real about it. But they take their cues from us, just like your teammates take their cues from you. So if you're like, you know what, I'm hurting, I'm down, but I'm able to still push through it, and I'm able to still make progress and still work, that means that there's some semblance of normal. There's some semblance of like reality that you've got to hold on to. And I think that really helps me knowing, and I hope that that helps you knowing that you can continue to move forward, right? But still have to experience the pain. And when you're experiencing the pain, that's probably something you're going to do by yourself or with somebody who's super, super close to you. You have to experience it though. And then once you experience it, you can let it go. I'm going to feel better even after doing this broadcast with you guys, because I'm letting out some of the things that I've been thinking about and I've been not able to share. But it makes a big difference, and it helps a lot to be able to get these things out, because then you can focus on what you need to do, right? Then you're not sitting in front of clients and bursting into tears because you're not dealing with your emotions or your stress or the adversity or problems that you're having. It's just so, so important. Yeah, thank you, Genevieve. Yeah, you've got to let them cry. You got to know, like, you guys have to know we're human, right? We're not so powerful that things don't get to us sometimes, right? It's real. Jewel, you're like question Q and Q&A. I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. How do you comfort, support your business partner, friend when you know they are hurting and you want to help them? You know what? Just be there for them. Just let them know I'm here. So there's sometimes you want to be able to do so much. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Ebony. Thanks for joining. I didn't see there were so many comments. I love it today. This is awesome, you guys. But please share this video. It's really, really important. You never know who's out there dealing with loss. So, kind of along the same lines, like I would just tell them, like, be there for them, check on them, see if they're okay. Just you don't even need to necessarily talk about the situation, but just to know people are thinking about you and they're reaching out to you. Like a lot of you guys, like Jewel's been reaching out to me every day. Ebony's been texting me. Hold on, Stacy. Jen's here, Angie, like Yardena, like so many people, have been Serena have been reaching out to us and, letting us know, hey, we're here for you. And that's how you show support, just letting people know that you're available. And if you need anything, let me know. Like, that's one of the things that, like, my mom, my mom is incredible, because like a lot of you guys know my mom. She's, people think that she's like kind of frail and like, dainty and like a delicate person. She's a freaking fighter. Like the kind of stuff that I've seen happen with her in the last couple of weeks, like I was shocked. I mean, I've known her my whole life, right? So, and I'm thinking to myself, like, you are an absolute freaking beast. Like she's doing some stuff that I'm like, wow. I mean, are you sure you don't want me to handle that for you right now? Like you just had a serious loss. And she's like, no, I got it. I can take care of it. I'm like, wow, okay, that's pretty incredible. I'm pretty impressed. But, I appreciate her. She's an amazing woman, and she's been through a lot, and she continues to just impress me as what she's able to handle. So you never know the capacity of people, but just being there, like I've been going over there. Like fortunately, my aunt, my mom's sister-in-law, is in town, and so she's been there and it's been helping. And we're next door, so that's really good. But it's just been really good to make sure that somebody is there with her and kind of helping her through some of her stuff, because what she told me today, it's funny because I didn't answer the phone. I was at the house and I was like not feeling that good. and I didn't really want to do GGinspire today, and I fell back asleep. And so she was calling me. Sorry. She was calling me, and I missed the call. And so she came over to my house to check on me. She's like, I just want to make sure you're okay. Because I've been going there like 2-3 times a day, checking on her. Hey, do you need some food? Like, what can I do? Do you want to go to the store? Like, you know, just be there for them. Make it a little bit easier for them. At the end of the day, like, just knowing that other people that they care enough to even ask how you're doing is a big deal. And if they reach out to you, respond, you know, because that's an olive branch, right? That's that opportunity for them to, you know, maybe make a connection with you. You never know what they were trying to say when they reached out to you. Maybe it was something important. So, David and Jessica, I forgot David and Jessica. They were over. They've been doing a ton for my mom. Like, just, yeah, I don't want to forget them. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Yeah, but it's just, you know, it's good to see. And Carol, you know, Carol sent an awesome card, and Nancy, and there's just been so many people that have reached out. And I know I'm forgetting some people, and I apologize. I love you very much. If I forgot you, don't get angry with me. You can write it down in your pain journal about how I forgot you. But, you know, look, it's not intentional. But I wanted to share with you guys some of my message. And next week, what I want to talk about is something that's really, that was really, like, the last conversation that I had with John was, we were joking about how he was always like, he always talked about game time, the switch. So I want to share with you guys that and how to do that. And I think it'll be probably one of the best ones ever. And I'll do my best not to cry. But it was a really, like, he's just made an incredible impact on me. He was a wonderful person. He's done so much, you know, to better our lives and to better the lives of our girls. And I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss him a lot. And I know if you're dealing with loss out there that it's not easy, but, you know, I would recommend spending your time thinking about the things that you valued about them and what they were able to do for you, and, you know, what you were grateful for and what they brought to your life. And I appreciate you guys. I want to let you know that, you know, pain will happen and loss will happen, but you can still have a great life. So you have to make sure and remind yourself, you know, deal with it, handle it, feel it, but be inspired to make your life better and to do things that, you know, that person would have been proud of and would have looked on and appreciated what you were able to do for them and what you were able to do for others. So I love you guys. This is GGinspire signing off. Be inspired for a great, great, great life. How do I end this one?